once again, now with the second podcast. My name is Matt Blast, and today I'm joined by two very lovely gentlemen. You guys can introduce yourselves.
I'm Girthor, also known as Bullet Bill.
I was trying not to burp, but I'm Crescent, but they'll call me Scott in the podcast. That is not my real name. Do not believe anything they say. I'm being held captive against my will. But I'm glad to be here, though.
But you will willfully eat our food and not pay rent.
Of course.
And I thought for a minute you were going to introduce yourself as Mike. I was the man
Mike's
previously known as not trying to burp. I was not trying to burp.
No, there's something brewing and I didn't want to belch into the mic.
Yeah, man, that's a heinous crime from the olden days. It's not the worst thing that's gone into the mic.
Oh, I wouldn't doubt it.
As Raul could tell you.
I've heard plenty of podcasts where people just fucking farted into the mic. But anyway, are we just going to jump into some topics? Or
yeah, I mean, we're here. It's just the three of us this time. We cut down on our friend group.
The three amigos.
Yeah.
We had to sacrifice a couple of friends to the volcano.
Yeah, after I realized I was a giant piece of shit, everyone stopped hanging out with me.
Yeah, we got the microphone
Happens
closer
to
to
the best of us,
Paul
Paul.
because as we heard from many people, Paul was on one and on another planet apparently.
Yeah, phoning it in the purest sense. They had me on a cell phone on the table, and I was just screaming into the topic. It was fucked up.
Crying into the void.
Paul had to reflect his voice off of a curved wall in order to actually.
Yeah, it's called Dr. Pepper's Ghost, except with microphones.
It's like the LaCroix of Dr. Pepper.
Do you pronounce it LaCroix or LaCroix?
I don't know. I don't
say LaCroix.
Because LaCroix, it's, like the
LaCroix?
cross.
Well, the X is usually like
LaCroix?
silent in like French, right?
Yeah, it's LaCroix.
Yeah, it's like. Well, I mean, like you
like the LaCroix de
Yeah.
Guerre or
You
whatever.
think of like how crazy English is as a language. It's like if you've ever seen the
cross of
word
war.
bird in French.
War
It's
cross.
like OUI
Arrow cross.
X or something like that, and you pronounce it oiseau.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I know. It's French is the language of like 6 vowels, and you mispronounce all.
Hey, I like their fries. That's
Yeah,
I remember when I was in 4th grade, I had this there was this book that was supposed to teach you how to, speak gooder English or something. And they kind of delved into the history of English. And the main thing I remember right now is that there were 2 aliens because they had to have like a fish out of water element for why they're explaining all this stuff. And they're like twins. And right now, the only thing on my mind is there any porn of these aliens drawn already?
And where can I find this?
Well,
Links in the comments.
we gotta scour the infinite rule34.fail.
Yeah, because this book's like from the 70s or the 80s, so I don't even know. It's probably out of print, I'm sure.
That's always my favorite thing is seeing like old illustrators and stuff like that, and they finally reveal, oh yeah, they got that like dirty drawings booklet
Yeah.
under their bed.
Yeah.
Every artist has one, I swear.
Oh
Yeah,
my god, that brought up a faded memory of, you guys remember? I don't know if it was Nickelodeon.
Speaking of faded memories, I could talk about last night.
No, but you guys remember on like Nickelodeon or Disney or whatever, they had that one little short where the guy's hands turned into little people, and then made arts and crafts.
No.
It had like a weird like watercolor aesthetic. I'd have to show it to you later, but like
That sounds pretty cool, though.
I'm like that brought up that memory. It's just like, do
Yeah.
you think the guy who like animated that like has his books under his bed somewhere, or her bed? I don't know who animated it.
Every good artist has a kink. You know what Walt Disney's kink was?
Mice.
Animals. He was a horse fucker.
Was he a zoophile or whatever?
And that's people freak out like, oh, furries, where the hell do they come from?
Walt Disney.
Walt Disney was the sinister start of it all.
Walt Disney saw some shit in World War II.
World War One, actually.
All right, whatever.
You want to know why he never had a kid? Because he believed that no human had the right to bear his child, which is why he looked at animals.
Only Minnie Mouse.
He just wanted to bring about like the Antichrist or something, the animal hybrid boy.
He wasn't anti-Semitic.
He wasn't.
He was far from that.
He was just anti-human.
He was
the greatest humanist in us all, and he realized that Greatness relied in the hearts of animals and their orifices.
Salute to that guy and his love for like horse booty hole or
the
something.
fact that they had to recycle most of Snow White in order to make the furry cult classic Robin Hood.
You know, and Robin Hood is actually an anagram for stealing and theft in the hood.
In the hood.
Where'd you get stealing out of Robin?
You know, Robin, like he Robin from the rich.
Robin the
Yeah,
Hood.
his name is Robin, like robbing, but with an apostrophe instead of a G.
Yeah.
Robin Hood. Yeah.
And one less B.
Yeah, one less B, boys.
And you want to know where it went? He stole it.
He stole the original G.
And animals are the purest being on this earth, as according to Walt Disney. Only they can have the moralistic altruism in order to see what humanity cannot. That's why he went to the hood.
They say, like dogs and shit, they can sense things that we can't. So maybe they can sense high.
Yeah, they could send
lift,
Yeah, they could sense a heart attack and also a Rolex in the same breath.
Oh, I think there's a nice plasma screen TV in there.
No wonder Grandpa was so upset before he died.
All right.
That dog lifted that Rolex.
You want to know why I call my my grandfather Grandpa? Because he's good at, smoking those grams.
Grandpa.
Graham. Dude, we're going to come up with all sorts of gangster words in this episode.
Gangster Grandpa Graham.
Call this episode like the Gangster Dictionary.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Dictionary for the hood.
Yeah, call this episode "We Kill in the Streets, We Slay in the Sheets."
Oh Lord. All right, let's jump onto a topic as if we weren't on one already.
I'm topical.
Is this supposed to be a video game podcast?
Rub me on your skin.
This is supposed to be a something podcast. I don't know.
I'll give you a little something, Matt.
Yeah, give us something.
All right, so Scott, you had a topic of your childhood that you wanted to go off on.
Oh yeah. So the Medieval HD remake, I finally got my hands on it. Finally got to playing it, and
Pretty envious.
as you should be. It's actually a pretty solid game. Like overall, I mean, it inherited this one glitch that has actually drove me to near blowing my brains out last night.
Well, that kind of shows you how faithful it is to the original. Then
It is. It's so faithful that it kept in this one glitch where if you go to the Hall of Heroes after you turn in a chalice and you do not take a reward or consult a hero and you just leave, it'll like lock you from getting any further weapons in the game. Like you'll keep going back to the Hall of Heroes, but no one will want to talk to you.
What?
So I kept on going back to the Hall of Heroes, and it was like, okay, no one wants to talk to me. All right, that's fine. And I did that 5 more times. I was like, okay, I have to be getting a good weapon now because I'm in a later level. All these dudes are like fucking me up. I'm like going to debt, paying for like throwing knives and crossbow bolts and shit. And that's when I realized, oh yeah, I fucked up my game and I had to restart over again.
That's unfortunate.
It's a blessing and a curse because I get to replay the game, and it's also a curse because I already fucking did this shit. I sat down, I got a Bang. Hold on, this podcast is not brought to you by Bang.
I hope the mic got that in its fidelity, but yeah.
Just add something else in there, like an elephant like screeching or whatever. But anyway,
you're gonna get a wrong connotation from that. This episode brought to you by Bang, and
I mean, we were already talking about Walt Disney copulating with animals.
yeah,
Let's keep it on brand.
yeah,
Yeah,
might as
I'd
well.
say.
yeah,
Okay, continue.
this is the #1 Zoophile podcast.
God, no.
And then-
Brought to you by Mass Rustang himself.
Get out.
but anyway, like it's a very solid remake, and it really is. Like I read someone say that it was like how Medieval 1 was meant to be, and honestly that's pretty close to it because it has a lot of the Tim Burton like aesthetic kind of design elements. Admittedly they used the little swirl thing I think one too many times. Like it's like in 2 or 3 different cutscene bits, and it's like, okay, chill with the
little swirl.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
They have like this weird swirl thing and one's thing. What anyway?
It's like a
Yeah,
hypnotist.
man, everything is all dead things have to be like mysterious, swirly mind control. Fucking like I don't.
No, it's like a geographical feature. It's like a route or something. I don't know. It was in this one cinematic thing. I'm not gonna prattle too much on about this stuff, but I really like the art direction of it because one thing it did that was really neat is that they kept the basic spirit of like the gargoyles where their lower jaw would unhinge so they can take a giant cock and then it would like close when they're talking.
Yeah, I've been through that.
Yeah.
Like a snake.
Yeah, like a snake. Like I've seen one of those gargoyles eat a mouse, a meese.
A mouse. A moose.
Yeah. But yeah.
I really do miss a lot of the art styles from that era. Like they're really like, I mean, as hokey as the concept is, shape language, that like really personifies itself.
There's a shit ton of that. Because it really kept everything, and like, should I just jump into Resurrection now or whatever?
I guess, yeah.
Because it's like Resurrection was the PSP title that was supposed to be, we're going to remake the first Medieval, and they really did, but it was also like a whole new game in of itself because they changed how like the ranged weapons work. They added two-handed weapons so you can shield. The cinematics in it were way more animated and it had a lot more humor. But that's just kind of the thing, is that this remake is literally just a remake of the first game, so it's like they can't go too far in one direction or the other, I guess. You know what I mean? Like they can't like, we're gonna add in this whole other like little dialogue scene.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Like especially as a remake, like you got to be pretty faithful.
Yeah. I don't know what else.
It is nostalgia fuel at its core, so you want to be as romantic as possible with your aspirations.
Yeah.
That's why I think the CTR remake is a good example of that.
Good ass.
I want to ask a question about the art style because you brought that up. Would you in any way consider the art style to be edgy?
What? Has anyone said that?
I don't know. I'm just asking.
I think when it goes into edginess, I feel like it's making a message without a point.
That I would absolutely agree with that, because to draw a tangent, there was a game that I kind of felt was like nostalgia bait for me, and it was just this very obscure kind of like Super Mario-esque platformer back in the PS2 days called Vex.
Yeah,
I have that game sitting around somewhere. I'll have to find it, but dude, this game was it was a mess. It was really, really bad. It was like, take like a game like Super Mario 64, which some people tout as like being like one of the champion games.
Unless you're on social media, and then you're required to hate it as a true fan.
True. But they took that game and it's edge. It's complete edge. It's like kind
violence
of like
and gore?
Yeah, it's like it's one of those like T-rated like they tried to mix like, imagine trying to mix like Blade and Super Mario.
Holy shit.
Yeah, and it's like, it's not even like violent like Blade, but it's just like, this character is like, the whole premise of it is like you have to collect these beating hearts in order to defeat villain that caused a genocide on your people.
Holy shit.
And you must make a heart pie.
Yeah, basically. And it's everything about it is meant to be like this crazy like edgy thing, but overall it's just a
lot of games wear that on their sleeves though, like Conquer.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say Medieval's edgy, the art style.
No, yeah, I would say like Medieval is like it's true to its like classical horror elements, in that and it's like very like old-timey horror, much like what's it called, the Haunted Mansion at Disneyland.
Yeah.
It's that kind of like hokey, like it's a spectacle kind of.
It also focuses a lot on like fantasy stuff a bit.
Yeah,
it's like gothic fantasy if anything, because you fight a lot of like mythical things like demons and these weird dragon frog fuckers and like fish. Fight a fish, and they pretty much have like a flying version of the pirate skeletons from James and the Giant Peach. There's basically there's a whole level that's just that, but it's a flying boat.
That movie.
So yeah, I wouldn't say it's edgy, but it has like a hint of it because in the original game, they'd use these cool wall textures of like Baroque-esque fucking weird bloody ass like paintings and stuff, and they kind of still use them for this HD remake, which I like.
What do they call that? Like German expressionism, the film style.
Oh, I don't know what that's fucking.
Like it's kind of pulpy. I don't know.
All right, well, I want to draw an analogy then, right? So like if I were to explain like Vex as like a cake or something, I would consider it to be like, you know, the actual sponginess of it would be like maybe like 1%, and then like we're like 99% like just frosting.
Yeah.
Right? It's like it's like a Costco cake on methamphetamines.
Oh my god.
It's like it has all this like weird imagery and everything, and it hones in on that, and the actual like substance of the game is like lackluster.
Yeah, I definitely see what you're saying.
So what would you consider like the frosting to cake ratio of Medieval?
What's the frosting again?
Frosting's like
it's a style to substance. I basically he's getting at like how much of that actually like supports the game versus just being like kind of pulpy and like frivolous.
That's a good question, because like I can actually go. It's like the first game, the original game. It's like, are we going to the meta of like the gameplay, or is it just
in your opinion? Like well, it's the balance between it, like, you know, the game feel versus like the game aesthetic.
I mean, this is an old game, so
yeah,
gonna have a different interpretation of it now.
Well, even then, it's like in terms of like nostalgia.
I would say it's like, you know, like a regular cake. They put a little bit of. I don't even, I think this is a crap analogy. I can't process this.
No, it's like think of like your ideal cake ratio.
Okay, and
like frosting to like actual sponge.
All right. I'd say it's pretty even Steven. It's a heavy nice cake, and then there's a good amount of frosting, because it's like there is a lot of style and there's a lot of like good art direction and crap, but like,
and that elevates the experience of the game.
Yeah, the actual gameplay experience. Actually, I think the gameplay in this HD remake has kind of improved, but that might be me not remembering exactly how the first game like ran, because I haven't played it in like a while. But it feels like it's pretty well balanced, because, you know, there's a bit more shield involvement. Shields are more important in this game. It feels like dodging and actual consideration of what weapons you use. But again, that could be me just like, oh, I don't have the best weapons yet, so I have to actually tactically think about what I'm going to throw at this guy or whatever. I'm vaguely remembering that the Pumpkin Witch in Resurrection looked like a thick bitch, but I can't remember exactly.
Another thing we're going to have to type in the Rule 34.
Yeah. I don't even think there's art of her, though. I don't know.
Oh, there you go. Right? You got your niche.
Yeah.
You gotta find a gap in the armor, and you gotta fill it.
Yeah, we're gonna fill that gap. Hell yeah.
Ooh. All right, so I guess keeping on that same topic, right? You wanted to mention remakes in general. We talked a bit about it last time, about are they good, are they bad? You know, what do we get out of it? And Scott, you weren't there for that one, so we got to hear your opinion about that.
All right, so my hot take on remakes is gonna blow your fucking mind. No, it won't. I think it's a thing of like there has to be good remakes and there are bad remakes, and it's kind of like there's cross section of not cross section. What am I saying?
A political compass.
A political compass.
Like
all the way on the right is Crash and Spyro HD remakes, and then all the way on the other side is Bubsy.
No, I would definitely see the Crash remake as an alt-right movement, video game remake sphere.
Yeah,
especially all the
CTR
Nazi paraphernalia hard baked into the.
Dude, CTR is libertarian. You gotta admit that.
Oh my god, that totally is fucking libertarian. That's why I hate it.
Who would be like an ANCAP like game? What would be the ANCAP remake?
Prince of Persia
Oh god.
Yeah, but
they kept the licensed music in it though. That's pretty.
That's cool.
Yeah.
All right, but continue on your.
Yeah, so I think what I was trying to say is like the thing with remakes is that there's some that stay spiritually true, like, you know, at least in the art direction wise with Medieval, and then there's other things like Medieval Resurrection where it's like they remake it but they kind of add more to it and they kind of like change it so it's almost a whole new game. And then there's other ones where I haven't played the fucking Bubsy one, but it's like,
Do you want to?
I think
is that like a faithful one?
I don't think so, because like I'm not even sure. It's like a 2D version.
Yeah.
It's not even. It's not Bubsy 3D.
Yeah, but
yeah, that kind of goes back into the point I made like last time was like you know, are the original creators like, is the idea burnt out? Should they be the ones to carry the torch for the remake? Because, you know, with a lot of these there is a huge demand, but like when you have people that are kind of divorced from the original concept, they don't feel that same passion. So
yeah.
with the Bubsy, I think it just seems like, okay, they're trying to make it relevant again, but that's not necessarily what people are looking for, and they're trying to cash in on the in the moment.
Was Bubsy made by the original developer?
I think so.
New one?
Wasn't it?
I don't know. That's why I'm asking.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bubsy and Ukulele.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I know about Ukulele. I didn't know about
but
it.
to just wrap up my point real quick is like, the end note I wanted to leave it at is like the thing with remakes, it seems like it could be a good opportunity for like a new generation of gamers, as like dumb and retarded as the next generation of gamers, like
those Nintendo guys or whatever.
yeah, like, because, you know, there are such a thing as like emulators and all sorts of stuff, but the average person isn't going to want to go through the whole process of getting that stuff. So it's kind of like the purpose of remakes kind of falls into this niche of reintroducing these old games,
Making it accessible.
yeah, exactly, because also some people just wouldn't, like, I'm sure would look at the original Medieval and be like, oh my god, what the fuck is this? This mouse is just like a half of a hemisphere or whatever, and then like all these like guys are just fucked up polygons waddling around. You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't even know what tangent.
Yeah, you kind of like romanticize the introduction of it by making it more high fidelity.
Yeah.
So it's like it's almost kind of rebreathing the same experience for a modern
Exactly.
audience,
Yeah.
in a modern mode.
Yeah, that, and like, you know, we had that discussion earlier about, like, you know,
Demons.
obsolescence.
Yep. Obsolescence.
Right? Like, you know, you're getting to the point where, you know, Netflix won't even appear on certain television sets nowadays, and it's like, you know, you want to talk about like breathing life into a fucking Nintendo game that was from the 80s, right? It's like, you know, some TVs like don't even have, like, you know, the RGB ports or anything anymore. It's just like now you gotta like dig up an old CR VTV or whatnot.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's just becoming like a horrendous obstacle. I don't know how I feel about Tesla.
What about Nikola Tesla? Did you know that guy didn't like women's jewelry? Like, if a chick like had earrings and stuff, he'd like take that shit off.
He also
Oh, so he's one of those guys like, oh, you look better without makeup.
No, I think he had some hang up with it. Like, it disgusted him, or like he just didn't like it for some reason.
Maybe it was because he was heavily socialist and overt signs of wealth disgusted him.
Yeah, see, I
buy that.
I think that also, like, our boy Walt Disney would probably have issues with him since he electrocuted a fucking elephant.
No, that was Edison. He did that to be a dick. He was like, "Oh, check out Tesla's shit. It's gonna kill this elephant." It's like, you killed the elephant, dog.
All right, well, I got my history all messed up. I'm no history buff.
I'm a history swole.
Yeah.
I go to the library and I start lifting books and I get
The only ridge in my brain is dedicated to history.
history.
I mean, that's what do you guys think about that idea about like
Ridges.
no, those like that specific comment reminded me of that like comic where it was like some really obtusely buff guy talking to a guy with a massive head.
Yeah, that's
It's like, where do you work out? The library.
Holy shit.
Right? Like, and people are getting really fucking like, you know, up in arms about like things like that. Or it's like, you know,
People will piss on everything, dude.
Yeah, well, I mean, like it's so polarizing about some of it. It's like, all right, you can either be like super swole or you can be smart. You can't be both. Right? Or you can be a pretty bimbo, or you can be book smart.
I think what it boils down to, it's all about focus. You know, to get good at something, to create a passion, you kind of like lock yourself off from the alternatives. And I feel like what makes a good person is a well-rounded person. And in, my personal belief, it's all muscle memory anyway. You're building up muscles, you're making it easier for you to recall certain things. That's the basis of intelligence right there. It's all through practice. It's all through practical applications. So you can definitely be both. In fact, it's better to be both because there are health benefits to being muscular and to being athletic.
Yeah, dude.
And that physical activity complements your mental acuity as well.
Mm-hmm. It really does.
Yeah, I mean, I heard like somewhere from, I think there was a long.
Plus, I need to get my ridges back.
Yeah, that too. But like, there was a while ago. You remember, like, there were so many apps about like, oh, like play this game to like increase your brain acuity or some shit like that. And then a whole bunch of doctors got together and said like, yeah, like sitting around on a smartphone is not going to help your memory or your brain health. You want to know what it will? Fucking going for a run, right?
Yeah.
Like any kind of physical no like app or any kind of like electronic stimulus, even if it's like a memory game or anything, is going to be as fruitful for you as just exercise.
Yeah, that's why I'll never learn Spanish on a phone.
Yeah, that too.
I gotta run from the Spanish in order to learn their language.
And I did that ever affect like Duolingo's like image? The fact that people turned its mascot into a fucking serial killer.
I never saw that aspect.
I think it probably boosted its image, made it more popular.
Yeah, it like the whole meme about like Duolingo is that the Duolingo bird is like a sociopath, and that like the only thing like staving off its tendencies is you like doing your daily lessons.
I mean, honestly, in the day and age of social media, like anything becoming a meme is a net positive.
Yeah,
honestly.
true. I mean, look at Peloton.
What the fuck's Peloton?
That was that.
No, it's Matt. It's Peloton.
Yeah, whatever. Right? The French, whatever. I don't know.
It says it in the ad, Matt.
Oh, I don't watch the ad.
Well, I
the only way that I heard about this company was because of social media. Right, but Peloton is a stationary bike company.
Peloton.
That they had a Christmas ad that people were saying was really like tone deaf. It was like this husband and wife, and like the husband gets the wife a Peloton bike for Christmas,
and he got himself some wife beaters.
Yeah. And people were like commenting on the fact that like no sane person would like want a stationary bike as a Christmas gift, especially a wife.
He is dropping a hint that she had to lose some weight.
Yeah.
Is that the joke?
Apparently, because I think a lot of people were taking it as like, oh, like if you ever got your spouse exercise equipment for like Christmas, you're gonna get in a divorce. And people like parodied the hell out of the ad and everything, and like I guess like it's free marketing, I guess. It's like I never knew what the hell Peloton was before people started blowing up about the advertisement.
I didn't know about it before this recording.
Yeah, so there you go.
For posterity's sake, I had no prior knowledge.
This cast is not sponsored by Peloton.
It's getting, it's like getting socks for Christmas. It's those mundane things that you appreciate more as you get older. And honestly, those stationary bikes are super fucking expensive. Oh. So if you get it as like a spouse, like, I don't know, I would be grateful because exercise equipment is always expensive.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, like I would actually be okay with getting one of those. That would
okay, you think as a spouse you've had some discussion about what people, you would have a good I feel like it's implied you would know kind of what your wife or your husband wants.
True.
For Christmas. So
yeah, I think it's just like, judgy people.
If your wife, I mean, I get it, I get the joke, but if your wife's like a health nut, that would be cool, like it comes with a. I'm not gonna advocate for companies. I'm not gonna do it.
I think it's just societal things. It's like, what? like exercise equipment for Christmas.
Well, you didn't get her.
You're like, you didn't get her a diamond ring, right? Oh,
Yeah, you didn't get her a
millennials, they
oh my
fucking
God.
killed that. Like, oh my God, right? Like, no, it's Christmas time, so you're meant to be getting fat, right? And then you go to a gym, and then you spend $60, and then you don't go, right? Like, this person getting their wife a piece of exercise equipment, they're abusive. Right? Like, this is a manipulative relationship.
Matt, I'm gonna go off on a tangent right now.
we're getting onto
Get ready, everyone.
we're getting ready to be on one.
You want to talk about something that's like deeply bullshit as I don't know, it's just such a weird concept to me.
Lay it out.
Fucking jewelry.
Yeah.
It's something that's so like arbitrarily priced and valued. Like, it has no value. I get the aesthetic appeal, I get the sentimentality behind it, but you have something that's like so easily acceptable and yet so automatically hoarded. Like, it has no physical value anymore because most countries have gone off like a gold standard. So like, it's people paying out the ass for shiny shit at its core. Look, I want a $200 gold chain. Why though?
Because you got to show that you're rich. You got to show that you made it, boy.
Yeah, well, I mean, simultaneously, like, I heard like a analogy that people are literally just crows with rights. It's like, we like to hoard shiny things, and we form communities, and that's about it.
It's also just
you
like
boil anything down, it's
We're
just
fucking
like,
animals, Matt.
that's pure and simple.
We're
That
fucking animals.
it's like,
maybe that's what Walt Disney was trying to say.
yeah, that's why you have to anthropomorphize it.
We're no greater than animals. That way we should elevate them and then use them as seed beds.
That's why it's like animal psychology, man. It's like you have to put a human element onto like the way animals act, but it's like, why? Like, oh, this mating dance, because, you know, like, oh, you people dance too, right?
Okay,
You're fucking
that kills me in so many things, how people put an arbitrary value or, you know, like an arbitrary meaning based on their own limited like life experience. Like, and people do that with their kids. They're calling for dad. Maybe they just figured out a weird exclamation that works for the kid as they're developing, that means something to them. Like, oh, they want to get up. Oh, they're calling for dad. And that pisses me off to such a huge degree, because you're like subconsciously imprinting meanings onto your kid that don't exist, and you're therefore like in a weird subliminal way corrupting their sense of growth due to your own limitations. And I've seen it firsthand, where it's like, oh, my nephew said a complete sentence. Oh, he's one. Like, he's not going to speak sentences. He doesn't know what things are. If by age 5 they can hardly understand, you know, how the world works, you know, despite how smart they are for their age, why are you imprinting like preferences onto them, saying that they like that bullshit? It's like, you know, it's like seeing your kid like have a favorite color. It's like, oh, that's their favorite color. No, you just gave them a ton of blue stuff, so they associate that with something because you subconsciously wanted them to like that. It's like buying your kid like male gender typed clothes. Like, you know, that's a whole topic for a different time, but it's like, you got to understand, like, you're conditioning your kid from day one.
Have you ever fought the other kids at the playground for the red trike? Like, I remember that vividly, dude.
You know, my confidence issues started early, so I regret not like burying kids in the sand.
Oh, dude, you should have been like a wild child.
I could have. If I was more like, see, I have regrets.
Everyone,
If I could go back, I would do it again.
I think that's a lot of like the experience of people around our age, especially, because it's just like,
Yeah, but people look at superficiality, like, oh, I'd relive high school again because I didn't get with a chick. No, I would go back to like, kindergarten, and I would melt kids.
like in vats of acid.
No, with my my philosophical truths.
Oh my
I
god.
would cancel kids at the age of 3. Cancel.
Dude,
Like
dude,
on
dude,
Twitter
this is the
before it's
future that
invented.
liberals want, man. We're gonna cancel 3-year-olds.
No, fuck liberals. Liberals are arguably worse than far right people because they cater to them. They're allies that sleep in the same bed. That's why I will die with my comrades on the street of Chicago. You don't understand.
I don't
Was that a
understand.
Paper Lace song? The night Chicago died. I think it was a Paper Lace.
Well, there's the night the music died, or the day the music died.
There's so many songs about
That-
shit dying.
that's
it's
American
depressing.
Pie.
Scott,
Yeah.
I don't want you to look down on me, but when we did karaoke, I sang.
Was I even there for karaoke?
you
uh,
How was I looking down on you?
I don't want you to look down on me with the next
Metaphysically.
statement.
Oh, okay.
No, like I was gonna make an admission,
An Amish.
dude. I sang "The Light That Never Goes Out," dude.
Dude, that song's so
The
good.
Doomer anthem.
Yeah.
It's a really good song, though.
It is a good song, meme or otherwise.
Yeah, there's a lot of layers to it.
I gotta address this elephant in the room. What the hell is hate breed theory? You guys were talking about it
That's
earlier.
Paul. That's completely Paul. I have no idea what that is.
I'm intrigued. Color me intrigued.
Just been staring at that thing, just staring
Hate
back,
breed
two
theory.
above Lugia's labia, and just been
Yeah, can we cover Lugia's labia first?
There's an actual story behind that. Despite the tag on certain internet websites.
Mhm.
When I first I did my first like competitive Pokemon event, my Pokemon ID, my username was Lugia's labia.
Oh no.
And I made that on the website, and they let me like make the account. So when I went to this event, I printed it out on my badge and everything. And I made the excuse like, oh yeah, it's just like Yugoslavia, like, except you say it with like a swollen tongue. So it's like Lugia, so just Lugia, like Yugoslavia.
Plain dumb with like.
No, it's cute. Get it?
Yeah.
I promise you, it's not what you think.
I promise you, don't look it up.
Is this tied to hate theory in any way?
Yeah, this is the hate breed theory.
Dude, please tell me what it is. I've been wanting to know.
Well, I am the king of hate. Everyone hates me.
You better quiet down.
I'm just gonna send a cease and desist.
Yeah, cease and desist these nuts, dude.
That can probably make it into the ghetto dictionary or gangster dictionary or whatever.
Yeah, the G. Arthur dictionary.
Yes, cease and desist these nuts.
Yeah,
Cease and these nuts.
Yeah, season these nuts.
goblin.
Anyway, continue.
I don't know what hate breed theory is.
Did you
the only
that the whole time?
the only thing I was thinking of
Like,
was,
what is this?
Yeah.
What is this tangent?
No.
it was that thing that like Oni posted on Twitter about like how like Voldemort is apparently like unable to feel love because he was the result of a love potion.
Yeah, so he couldn't feel. Yeah, so
Like a crackhead baby kind of.
yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, so it's like
Why are they letting it
why
happen?
are they
in
letting
school?
children like sell these things and like
Yeah, they're selling them in the bathrooms.
Wait, they sell love potions in like the vending machine bathrooms in the Hogwarts
Yeah.
world?
yeah, like do you guys remember that
Yeah, next to
scene
the
where
Birdie
Ron-
Bots
where-
flavored condoms.
Yeah, like Ron basically got roofied and like everyone was okay with it.
Dude, I was thinking about that last night while I was in my weird post inebriated fever dream. I was like, dude, if I were a wizard, I would make the realest real doll ever.
Oh, it would just be like a homunculus then?
Yeah, it would be. It would be this little like identityless sex slave. I don't know.
So you start like branding it and choking her and shit, and you're like, no, it's fine. There's no sentience.
Yeah.
Ignore that tear coming out of the eye.
Can't even feel anything.
It can't feel anything. It's okay.
And it just it seeks approval
From its master.
from its master.
Oh god, dude, fucking.
It's a thing that's imbued with sentience and has no identity, and it constantly questions as I deposit my fluids into this poor being.
It's not a being. You just 180'd. It started, oh, don't worry about it. It's not sentient. Then you just ended it with the whole.
The only thing that I'm like thinking about is like you imprint like instead of having a vocal like box, it has a howler. Like that letter that like
No, it has
screams.
No, you know what it has? It has a kazoo as a vocal chorus.
Do you think like the porno mags in like the wizarding world, like they move like the pictures, so it's
Oh
just
yeah.
Oh man.
it's just like GIFs basically, like porn GIFs.
Maybe that's why they never needed computers.
I mean, yeah, their pictures move automatically.
Yeah, they're like, what the hell's a PlayStation? Like, they have no idea what any of this
Yeah,
is.
we can nuke the world with magic.
You think
PlayStation?
You think any of those like kids at Hogwarts or any of like the higher ranks are great? What is it like? Higher year students like
Do you think there are truthers where it's like on the grays?
No, I was asking.
That's why humanity would never find aliens, is because the wizards have already captured them and turned them into real.
Yeah, that's the real question I want to know, J.K. Rowling. What's really happening in Hogwarts?
Yeah.
You don't want to know that.
Okay, Miss J.K., you'll be rolling in your grave if you don't give me the truth.
Oh my god.
You know, I've heard, I've seen this one picture.
What's J.K. stand for? Jennifer Caniston.
Oh my god.
Go on.
Oh, we have like 3 different bits going on. I gotta get back on.
The Greys.
Yeah, the Greys. What's really
Planned obsolescence.
Hogwarts Dumbledore? Then like, what if there's like a lawyer like in the courtroom?
You know what planned obsolescence is?
What?
It's to keep us in the dark so we can be controlled through technology, so innovations are stifled. That's what the Greys are planning.
I'd believe it, dude. They crashed here on this planet. That's bullshit. They want.
Big Gray Owl, the first Gray, planned it from the first inception of Apple, the inception of Adam and Eve, the corruption, the sin.
How could I have known this if I never...
How could I have known this if I hadn't existed? You get that?
Welcome to Conspiracy Cast.
Yeah, we're gonna get.
The apple, which enlightened humanity but also corrupted it to damnation. With Apple, we left the Garden of Eden. That was planned from day one.
I've seen it. I've seen it in the cereal boxes. I've seen it on barcodes. Apple.
Steve Jobs didn't die.
He's still alive. He ate an apple every day. Are you fucking kidding me? He's not.
He ate 20 apples every day. He ascended. He never got cancer.
Some people say he never went to
He
the.
became a gray. That's why he started shaving his head towards the end.
Yeah, no, he wasn't shaving.
His eyes went black.
He wasn't shaving.
The
He
truth.
was naturally going bald and turning into a gray.
Grays are what humanity was before we left the garden.
Should we choose a new topic before we get fucking cited?
Okay, we have to
Choof's
talk.
new bullying policy prevents us from
Look, my uncle Choof Noopum knew the truth. Choof.
What about?
You have to create a name that the Greys don't understand. That way they can't find you. Because if they know your name, they know your truth.
All right, so hang on. Let's get on to if we're going conspiracy right.
Why do you think they call it telekinesis? Because of the telephone.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I can control the people.
Why do you think no wizards exist anymore since the advent of technology? Technology was used to stifle the magical imprint of mankind. We have been chipped since day one.
Dude, that's fucked up. I want to learn how to do.
You know what iPhones are? They're a shock collar or a magical key. Why do you think there's no afterlife? Because it's behind a paywall.
Holy fuck.
Okay, so
In my past life, I discovered this and then I was murdered.
Dude, you sound like an Angel Fire website.
I'm on fire from that energy.
I think
drink.
I had wings in a past life, so I did.
But what about like everything we know right now being a simulation? Like everything, like even physics people, they say in quantum physics or whatever, this could be a projection
Yeah.
of things that already happened, which is already something kind of hard to wrap your head around because it's like, well, I'm thinking right now, but is it still like a shadow of what already happened?
That's always the fascinating to me is that with physics you have there's a physicality to temporal aspects,
Yeah.
which is if it's physical, that means it can be influenced.
If it has mass.
If it has a presence that is quantifiable.
So
Where am I?
you're saying we have to be thick enough to register in quantum physics.
Look, that's why fat women create an orbit of gazes, which means they're taking up my time by thinking of that.
I like to call it the Instagram theory. When there's more mass, and then there's like a picture of like some,
When the grams grow.
yeah, when there's like some like Instagram thought, like, or something that's showing like, what is even on Instagram, like likeys, thumbs ups,
Lipples.
Like
Lipples?
hearts, I guess.
or whatever. Oh,
Yeah, big moods.
Didn't they say that they were gonna get rid of that? Like, you're not gonna be able to see like how many likes or whatever because fucking damaging social media imprints.
Okay, that's forward thinking, but also how are they making money off of that?
Yeah, right. I don't know.
is this all part of the simulation?
Don't believe the lie.
I mean, I don't know, man. It's all those weird things. It's like, how the hell did these bags of jelly just gain sentience?
I mean,
You know,
No, I'm talking about people.
oh,
look, that's why. See, that's why I look at it in the same way. You know, like if everything is meant to be created, then who's to say why can't I do it?
do what?
Because of arbitrary rules, I can draw anything.
We live in a society, Paul.
We live in a society.
Look, society, you know, I realize this at Walmart at my imprisonment.
Yourself.
We are just the amount of things that get passed on because we silently accept the influence of arbitrary things.
You mean like
It's
rules and like
Social schema, social
Yeah.
dogma, fashion,
I think some of those
all these things
are like influenced by like,
fascinating.
it is fascinating,
A
yeah.
lot of it came out of necessity, and then
Yeah.
it just blew up from there.
All right, we're gonna call it with that. All right, I'm Matt Rasplast, and I will hopefully see you guys later. Peace out, everybody.